Hi, welcome back to Close to Home Saturday Sampler for September. This month we're going to use a new ruler. It's called the Creative Grid Scrap Crazy 6-inch ruler. It includes 4 templates labeled A through D and an extra one, E. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you just use the strips the way they came in the kits, and all I did was put a little best press on the strips because there are a lot of angles, as you can see. The main thing about the Scrap Crazy templates is A and C are both 4.5 inches. So what we're going to do to this fabric, which is our light gray circle and our light gray mottled, is we're going to cut our strips that are given to us in the kits at 4.5 inches. So we'll go ahead and start that. And the rule to using the Scrap Crazy templates is to always have your fabric right side up. If you fold the fabric, the angles on your pieces are going to be mirror image, and you do not want that. You want them all the same, so they all are cut with right side of fabric up. All right, so this one and this one are both going to be 4.5, so I can go ahead and trim those down, and I'll just show you real quick how to cut our pieces. So I just folded it in half because my ruler was not quite as long as my strip. I'm going to get a nice edge, so that's right on the fold, and I'll turn it around and get a 4.5. Perfect. All right, so now these strips, both the C and the A, are at 4.5. So we're going to use these right side up. I'll just cut a few so that you get the idea. The top of your strip and bottom of your strip are the straight of grain, and that's really, really important when you cut these to know exactly which side is which, because when we construct our 6-inch block from these 4 pieces, these 4 scrap pieces, you want to make sure that the straight of grain is on the outside on this A piece. And if you cut them and can't really tell which is which, it's pretty easy. The two that bend and pull and stretch are the bias, and the one that snaps, you can hear a little bit of a tone, that is your straight of grain. So we're just going to keep rotating this template and making sure every single one of the most important thing is to have these notches cut out on every single template. So if you can see the B, that's we got to cut this one and this one. There's 2 on this side. There's one here, of course, on that corner. There's one on that corner as well. And these are going to help you line up your pieces. All right, so turn this around 180 degrees, don't flip anything, and just go ahead and cut the next one. And we're going to cut 4, obviously, because these are 6-inch finished squares, and we're going to do a 4 patch. All right, so I've already cut them, and we're just going to keep turning them. Okay, that's that one. The next one I want to show you is the C. So again, we're trying to make the most of our fabric, so I probably wouldn't start cutting and wasting all this. Go ahead and start this right on the edge. And the top and the bottom of my 4.5-inch strip are right at the top and bottom of my C template. And again, this is the light medium circle, and we're going to need 4 of these. So we'll cut that one, and don't forget this little notch. And then we're going to utilize that by turning our ruler again. It's okay to turn the ruler 180 degrees, but do not flip your fabric and do not flip the ruler upside down. Okay, so that's the next one. And again, don't forget the little notch. And then we're just going to continue. I have a nice 90-degree corners here, and we're just going to continue to cut, flip, and rotate. All right, so that's the C. The other ones, pretty simple, standard. The B, when you cut the B, this one I literally cut all the way around on all the sides. So we're going to push this up as high as we can go on the strip, not including our selvage, and I'm going to go ahead and cut on all these sides. And then I'm actually going to utilize this area when I go to cut my second B, just so I don't run out of the dark black fabric. So I don't want to go too deep on that. I have that notch. I'm going to do this one, and I'll swing around. I don't want to go too far because I got to put the next piece in there. Okay, so here's our first one. And then all we're going to do is swing this around and try to get this down as far as possible. Hopefully we didn't cut too far down and you know, waste a little bit of fabric, but that should be fine. I should definitely be able to get 4 out of there. So plan ahead a little bit, think about how you're going to be cutting your pieces. Okay, and obviously the D piece, same thing. We're going to start with the flat edge, the flat piece of our D, and again utilizing, when we turn the ruler, utilizing that indent, that extra fabric, and you should be able to get 4. Just keep them nice and tug, close together. All right, not tug. Okay. So let's construct these. These are pretty easy. We're going to take we're going to put these, so I just have the letters right for you. We're going to sew the B and A units together. All right, and they're all right side up exactly the way we want it. This is going to be our square. Okay. So when we put the B, the black fabric onto the side of the A, we want to make sure that we line up the angle that we trimmed off on the template, and this one fits right inside the other angle that we trimmed. Remember the 2 sides of this one? So this goes along the bottom. This one comes right to the corner of the A. So we'll go ahead and sew that one. Let's go ahead and give that a 1/4 inch. You're going to be amazed at how easy these go together. And again, it's a new ruler. We have not used this ruler before. Just make sure you have a nice 1/4 inch. There is a lot of bias going on the edges of these pieces, so just be a little bit careful. All right, so that's the AB, and we're going to do the other half, and we're going to take the D and put it right side together on the C. So my 90-degree corner fits perfect right into here, and the edge of that notch that we cut goes straight down this side of my C piece. All right, so we're going to sew across here at the top. Of these. Let's lift that. And it doesn't matter which way these get pressed because there are no interlocking seams on them. Okay, so I could press this one toward the darker fabric, and I'll press this one toward the darker fabric, and then we'll sew those together, and you'll see how quickly those go together. Okay, so we have our AB unit and the CD unit. Now when we join these two together, The notch that is up here on the C piece fits right in the edge of our B piece, and we come down with the A, which was our isosceles triangle. All sides are even, and that ends right at the end of our D piece. All right, so let's go ahead and sew these together. I hope you're thinking where you might want to add your little burst of color this month. You can substitute any of these fabrics for the color that you are working with. I think it'll be really pretty. Okay, and then we have this measures 6.5. And again, it doesn't matter which way it gets pressed. So I'll just press that. All right. And then once we have this, cut this. Once we have 6 of these, we've formed a four patch, and that one's going to go right here, obviously, and they just keep turning. They're all identical, and they make this pattern. So this is the block, this is the pattern that we're doing for September. If you are interested in more patterns with this ruler, I'm going to suggest, it's on the directions this month, but go out on YouTube and do a search for Creative Grid's Scrap Crazy 6 templates. And the code for this template is CGRMT6, and it's right on the pattern itself. So you can Q code scan this, it'll take you to the video, or you can just put it in your YouTube and you'll be able to watch Karen Montgomery's video. It's about 10 minutes long, but the way she cuts her scraps and turns her blocks are beautiful, and they give you a lot of ideas. She also has a book out. It's called Scrap Crazy 6. It features 7 projects made from the Creative Grid Scrap Crazy 6 template, and it retails for $15. We don't stock them, but if you would like to special order them with the store, by all means let us know, and when you pick up your kit, and we'll get you a copy of the book. Okay, a couple other things. Oh, I want to show you one more thing with Crazy Quilting. You may have seen some patchwork that I'll just use this one for an example. You may have seen some patchwork when you do a crazy patch that they embellish it with decorative stitches. So on my machine, I kind of went through and played a little bit with some of the stitches. The best way to see what they look like is to actually just stitch them out. Get a nice contrasting thread. I'm going to put black on my sewing machine. And there's a couple ways to do it. We have a nice straight line going through our block. We have this line, and this line. These can be 3 totally separate decorative stitches. All right, but as always with decorative stitches, we want to stabilize our fabric on a piece of tearaway stabilizer. Okay, and again, you'll need a third if this is something that you want to try at home. All right, so let me just do one. And there are special feet that you can use. Obviously, you can use your open toe foot. That's a great one, so you can see where you're going. But I have several. I grabbed a couple off the wall. These are all, these are feet that have the blade in the center. So they're called ditch quilting feet, and it happens to be a number 10 for Bernina, or a 10C or a 10D. And then for Janome, we have both the 9mm stitch widths and the regular. So I'm going to put the 10 on, and I'll show you very quickly how to do this. So let's go pick a decorative stitch, and I can put the guide right down on my seam line. So if I'm doing this one, it's going to start up at the top. I mean, I still have a 1/4 of an inch. I'm not too worried about it. And on the screen, on this is the Bernina 475. I'm going to go to Decorative Stitches, and I can go and pick very simple designs to stitch down that line. So we'll start with something easy, maybe, oh, I don't know, it gets crazy. Here, we'll start with the simple stars. All right, so I'm looking at this blade, letting the decorative stitch do its thing with the stabilizer underneath it, and I'm just gonna let it go until it gets all the way to the end. Great way to embellish or show off some of those beautiful stitches on your machine. Kind of close. All right, and you can continue to switch up your stitches and play around a little bit, maybe get a new foot. The other thing, it's a little off. Maybe I should use my open toe. I can see better with the open toe. It doesn't really matter. We also got some new Free Spirit fat quarter bundles. You get 20 fat quarters. We carry the red, the lighter one, the rainbows, the purple, and the green blue ones. Okay, and we also have the 5-inch squares for that. So pick up beginning Friday, September 10th. Bring in your finished August block and pick up your September kit. And then again, that's this Friday, September 10th. The Mexican Star class is running on Mondays, September 20th and 27th. We have a 10 to 1 and a 5 to 8 time slot, so you can sign up for those. And Jerry will be running the AccuQuilt Go Cube party. It's the Morning Star AccuQuilt die, so if you have the AccuQuilt system, you can just bring the die. You can use our cutter, and she's going to show you how to put that quilt together. All right. So again, thank you for watching, and have a good day.